Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn on the bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the notifications. Now in this video, we would like to update you with a news which came out yesterday. Didn't have enough time to actually get it done last evening, but I'll make sure that I get this done this morning for you. So the Minister of Immigration Alex Hawke had actually been on the media, and let's check out what he says. Okay, so the topic, as you can see, this you probably can actually Google in multiple different media groups. Now I picked the one from 7news.com.au with the topic saying skill migration increase on the cards. So what does that mean? And you can see that this came out yesterday early in the morning, about midday, published on at the 9:56 a.m. yesterday. And what does it say? So skill migration, look, we've been struggling waiting for skill migration to open up, and you may probably experience, or your friend may experience, that a lot of delays, invite is not received. A lot of people leave a comment on my channel and say, look, I have this 80, 85, 90 points EOI, do I get invitation? When can I get invitation? And it has been a struggle since the pandemic started last year until today. A lot of people have been delayed, no visa, they had to extend it into a COVID-19 visa for 08. And until today, there's a lot of people still didn't get invitations. So let's have a look what the Minister of Immigration Alex had for us. Okay, so this says Australia will see a good number of skilled migrants when border opens, of course, and it seems to be the border will be open early next year for the international travelers. By the end of this year, they are open, but only for the Australian citizens and the permanent resident and immediate family. Well, I think from the end of the year towards early next year, it's only a couple of months. I don't think there's any big deal and differences to be actually made this. I think it's more for a lot of immediate family. They want to gather with the family in Australia for Christmas. I think that's and as you know, the elections coming up, so whether or not this policy is made purely to attract the poll number, but don't know. I'll leave that to you for your comments or your thoughts. Anyway, let's follow what has been said by Alex. The number of migrants able to come to Australia each year could increase once COVID-19 border restrictions are eased. Now that's no brainer, of course, because the last 2 years include this year. The net migration ratio is very bad. If you've been following my channel, which had caused economically negative impact by means. So the Immigration Minister actually had indicated the annual migrant intake next year could scale up for sure, and it's almost towards 200,000 a year, which is very good, because I remember the year when they still had 190,000 per year for those 2 or 3 years. The processing time is quick, there's no delay, there's no backlog, and everybody is happy. Hopefully that era is gonna come back next year. So as I mentioned, I remember a couple months ago, I always said, and also last year I already started mention that the due to pandemic, with the huge economic struck negatively towards the nation of Australia, the migration is gonna open up, and I predicted and estimated that the opening will be within 3 to 5 years. It looks like they are bringing a little bit sooner. However, you know that the policy being made in Australia is always not that timely. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, if it comes next year, that would be very good, because that's a year earlier than my estimation, but which is good. I mean, I'm happy to take on that. So Alex says, Mr. Hawke says, we've got great flexibility to make sure that meeting more skill shortage. Or I think that phrase has been said thousands of times. And Mr. Hawke told ABC Radio National on Wednesday, call for increase. We understand, given that the lag, but what we're talking about is carefully evaluating how many Australians we can getting work, how many people can enable Australian getting to work. I think they are very cautious. Bear in mind they are politicians as well, and the elections coming up. So a lot of these wordings are all politically sentenced, but in ways, more migrants, more business, and obviously more jobs. I think that is more logically correct, rather than decrease the migrants so the Australia has more opportunities. Well, did they or decrease, if you have noticed my video yesterday, decrease the migrants so we don't have congestions in Sydney and Melbourne. Is that correct? Is that true? Probably not. So the logic was wrong. It has been reversed. So I think that taken aback, the true logic should be more people, more business, more jobs. That's for sure. You don't want to take innovation and business to a countryside where there is no business to make. There's no market there. You want to take your opportunity to where a lot of people are, big cities, so you can make money. And of course, when your business make money, you employ more people, and that should be the logic, rather than cutting down the people and trying to bring out more opportunities. I think that logic is not truly correct, but that was if you saw my video yesterday, that was the logic back in 2018. If you saw those news back in 2018. Anyway, let's continue up. Last week the cap was 160,000, so they are looking to bump it up 40,000 more, which I'm welcome with that one, because that would be very good. International travel is set to resume in November 1 for New South Wales. So all the other states will follow that up sooner, but it will only limit it to Australian citizen, permanent resident, and their family at first. So their family was the one that you probably have followed the news. Immediate family, that's for parents. Okay, skilled worker international student visa holder will be allowed coming in country a later date. So I assume will be the first half of 2022, followed by international tourists. So that's general tourists. That will be the later second half of 2022. Migrant Employment and Training Company AMES Australia said that the boost of skilled migrant cap will lead to a post COVID economy boost, which is very good. They need it. If you're looking at the debate currently about getting rid of all this coal power thingo and reduce CO2 emissions, and also including the China and Australia relationship continue to be deteriorated. So obviously the business is going down, but a lot of media may argue that no, our business is still very good, but that's not what I see. If you see the international education sector, as I had mentioned previously, thousands and thousands of jobs have been lost. So where do these people go? They go mining? I'm not too sure they would do that. Chief Executive Kath Scott said that the pandemic include hiatus on skilled migration was a chance to improve the system. We're seeing labor shortage, and this is actually true out there, because we thought back in 2018 cutting out the migrants will have more opportunity for Australia. Is that true? If you ask all the employers, and especially regional employers, they are struggling. They got no people going there. Okay, and especially in the pandemic, mass numbers of migrants were gone. Temporary visa holder were gone, and the shortage is massive out there. And also if you look at the recent post office of Australia, the strikes and all the postage has been delayed and even been returned for international postage. That is bad. We know the early intensive support migrants, surely their arrival, getting to the work, sure, but currently there is still a lot of delay and backlog. If you understand, for example, I've got clients in 482 visa, got employer sponsor. Nominations have been approved, but the visa is seem to be still there, delaying. I don't know why. I think it's for the international control again. So that is what had been said by the Minister of Immigration, Alex Hawke, yesterday. What are your thoughts? I think the path is there. It matches. Not exact what I predicted, because I predicted 3 to 5 years later from the pandemic, which will be in 2023. So Alex Hawke actually came out and said, look, next year we got to get it. That also give out the message that the economy is shaken up badly. It really needs people to come back. If you look at the current situation where, especially today, Melbourne's COVID number has been jacked up again, more than 2,200 something, and they still wanted to open up the borders, get the international business to reinitiated, otherwise reactivated. Otherwise, the economy is going to be continue to driven worse and worse. You can see the urgency there. Hopefully next year will be the key, and the application EOI invites will go as smooth as possible. No more delay, no more backlog. Hopefully that all delay and backlog will end after 2, 3, 5 years of massive, crazy migration issues there. What is your thought? Why don't you leave a comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.